Welcome back to the broadcast of your Next Move Grand Chess Tour. This is day 3 here in Leuven, Belgium, where round 4 of the Blitz event is about to begin.
Yeah, before we start, let's have a very quick look at the standings after round number 3. The world champion Magnus Carlsen is in the lead, 1.5 points ahead of Wesley So, who keeps playing rock solid. Vachier-Lagrave still in pursuit, but quite a bit behind the leader already, so we'll see if anybody can step up to challenge Magnus Carlsen. In the last round he drew his game against Vichy. MVL, the Frenchman, drawing Topalov, Vladimir Kramnik. We've seen Fabiano Caruana ended in a draw against Hikaru Nakamura, and Anish Giri, Wesley So also a draw. This round I find it very hard to pick a game. There's many interesting matchups, but if in doubt, go with the leader. So we're going to go with Carlsen MVL. I'm actually surprised MVL has only 9 points at this point. I consider him one of the best Blitz players around. Plays a lot online, plays a lot wherever you can.
He lost the first Blitz, the first round, didn't he?
I don't know, but they're starting their game, and Magnus Carlsen chooses a bit of a sideline. Does not want a Najdorf discussion with Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, but goes for the move queen takes d4, which he's employed in the past. Many options here. The big idea is that after knight c6, white goes bishop to b5, pinning it, but MVL starts with knight f6, which invites some very sharp lines like e5, knight to c6, bishop to b5. Curious if Magnus is going to go for that, but I have a feeling he's going to play something slower, maybe bishop b5 check anyway, or a move like knight to c3. I have a feeling he doesn't enjoy, yeah, there he goes, that's his style, bishop b5 check. Exchanging that bishop, and then he's going to try to build up the so-called Marocci structure by going c4, putting a knight on c3 and maintaining a grip on the center. MVL does not look overly disturbed. He probably has studied this position. Carlsen goes c4, knight c6, he's going to go queen e3 or queen d3, and then just try to maintain his space, finish development, and enjoy a bit of a grip on the position. MVL has the challenge to try to avoid that.
This seemed to be the refutation of the Najdorf, but a very pleasant position for white where he can build up on everything. But now I should take it back, because after queen g4, queen takes g2, suddenly it becomes a sharp position.
Yeah, if black would have developed normally, then white would have gotten what he wanted, but MVL is trying to exploit the few liberties Magnus took trying to get this construction in the center by grabbing a pawn, which looks very risky but is very consistent, and also it might lead to the type of chess that Carlsen doesn't really enjoy. He plays rook to f1, which doesn't look like...
I'm surprised by rook f1. We expected rook g1.
Yeah, rook g1, queen h3, and all of a sudden you have to deal with the threat of knight to... I don't know, knight e5 is not a threat, sorry, I'm blundering his piece, but knight b4 is. So something's gone wrong for Magnus. Strategically, this makes a lot of sense, but the timing didn't seem to work out. Maybe he missed queen g4. He's a pawn down against MVL, and this could be big trouble, because I can't really see a lot of compensation.
Yeah, MVL lost in the first round of the Blitz and then drew 2, so he's on a -1 score in Blitz, which seems to be one of the best time controls for him. It suits him very much. He loves playing Blitz, so we'll see if he comes back with a win against Magnus Carlsen with the black pieces.
Yeah, and the problem for Magnus is not only is he a pawn down, he has to make defensive moves to stop the black initiative here. He had to play a3, stopping knight to b4. It looks like there's many tempting options. Stuff like knight d7, intending knight e5 comes to mind. And you could also start thinking about developing your pieces at some point, go g6, bishop g7. I don't see any compensation. Yeah. This looks like Maxime, if anybody, has the pawn and the compensation. So Magnus dug himself a bit of a hole here with his opening play, which strategically made a lot of sense, but he must just have missed this queen g4 idea. MVL goes g6.
Thought it was time to take off his jacket and focus on the game, because now with the pawn down, as you said, it doesn't seem that he has compensation, and Maxime goes for the plan you mentioned, just developing his pieces. I'm also worried about Magnus's king, because since there's no g2 pawn, no castle kingside anymore, castle queenside will be somewhat dangerous.
Yeah, frankly looks like a totally lost position for the world champion. We've seen him perform miracles just 2 rounds ago. Or was it a round ago? I can't remember. Against Vachier-Lagrave, where he escaped an endgame and exchange down, so you can never write him off. But this, if MVL doesn't panic, should be a black victory. Bishop d2, bishop g7. Carlsen's gonna cast the queen side, no choice. Just It's just lost, what can I tell you?
We are surprised by Magnus Carlsen's opening choice. He must have confused maybe the variation. He mixed up something with the move order.
No, I don't think so. He was freestyling. You can do the kind of thing he's been doing after knight c6, bishop b5, bishop d7. But after knight f6, he just wasn't in time. In fairness, I also missed this queen g4 idea. But MVL did not. Took a pawn and kept it.
So Magnus Carlsen castled queenside, but this kingside isn't the safest of all. So far nothing going on, but this g7 fianchetto bishop is targeting the long diagonal and will cause some trouble for the white king. And if not, it's simply just a pawn up. So he doesn't even need to give mate, it's a pawn up position.
Yeah, Magnus continues playing. That's the best thing you can do in such positions. There is no tactics which he can induce, so he's trying not to allow Maxim to do further damage. Goes rook g1, maybe rook g3, and put a knight on d5. But the position remains very, very grim. The one problem Black has to solve is where he wants his queen. Like, he would have liked to transfer it to somewhere on the queen side where rook g1 is directed against that, because now you can go queen h5, rook g5. He played rook e8. I was going to say, after knight d7, you also have to worry a little bit about the queen being harassed. So Maxim just takes a timeout to defend his e7 pawn in case white ever goes knight d5.
Rook g3 is on the board and queen e6, I believe he played. Yeah, queen e6, and we see that our camera angle is changing so we can have a look at the wall. But there we have our dear audience here in the Town Hall of Leuven. Hello, everybody. It's great to have you here. Later on, I will once again grab the microphone and ask some of our victims, where are they from, when did they learn to play chess, who are they rooting for, all those kind of questions. So please stay here after this round and I will go and interview some of you.
Yep. I doubt we will interview Magnus Carlsen after this game because it looks pretty bad for him. He's not going to be in the mood. After knight to a5, a new problem has occurred. It's going to be almost impossible to cover the c4 pawn. Therefore, yeah, it's no good advice to give him. Maybe some madness like c5, intending rook takes c5, b4. And yeah, there he goes.
He did listen to you, so now that we know that you are helping Magnus Carlsen, he's wearing actually an earphone listening to us. Rook takes, no, d takes c5.
Yeah, it's two pawns. Rook c5, b4 was unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah.
d c5 is less desirable positionally because these pieces would be temporarily shut out of the game, but two pawns are two pawns. It is still a very, very desperate situation for Magnus Carlsen. He avoids the exchange of queens, thinks he has more practical chances with the queens on. Doesn't change the assessment, of course. He's still lost.
But this is Blitz, so anything can happen. Maxim could blunder, although he is one of the best players. He was about to win the World Blitz Championship, where Jan, you were the commentator. How did you see his play there, and what happened in the last rounds? Why he did not win the championship?
Normally fatigue is a good reason, but yeah, he was like 1.5 points ahead with 2 rounds to go. Looked like he had it locked up. But then he didn't do well in the last couple games, maybe. The pressure of being so close to the title got to him. He's not close to any title. In this tournament, he's actually far behind. But a win with Black against Magnus would be sweet and maybe would get him going. Magnus, yeah, just keeps throwing everything he's got at the black position. The problem is he doesn't have that much. He's missing 2 pawns. Rook f8, not the most violent decision in the world, though. He was concerned about e5 followed by fg6 and a queen landing on f7. And it looks like Carlsen, even though I still think he's lost, managed to build up some momentum. If Black has to play rook e8 to f8, something's gone wrong. And after queen h3, targeting the h7 pawn.
He just needs to push e5 and then there will be mate on h7. So he must do something about this threat against his h7 pawn and his king.
Yeah, e5 might not be a big threat yet because there is queen takes f5 check.
f5, I blundered.
But still,
any way to somehow knight d5?
Yeah, knight d5 is in the air. Bishop takes d4 followed by e5 or knight d5. Maxim has managed to create some trouble for himself here. I guess he can still go h6 or h5. That's what he's going to be calculating right now. Can't see a refutation. And he's played rook fd8. Keeps moving that rook
fd8
around. So asking for trouble. 95 maybe?
I don't understand. If 95, maybe he wants to take and allow queen takes h7, but that's doesn't look right. Rook f1 was played by Magnus Carlsen. He wants to capture on g6 and then maybe sacrifice the rook on f6 to eliminate the defender. Knight h5 played by Maxime.
Yeah, Maxime is drifting a little bit here, but he still has more than enough defensive resources, so Magnus.
Rook g1, g3 to g1, and now knight b5. If he has time for it, I was afraid that that was f takes g6, but he can take on c3 with a check and then queen b5 check. Is he getting anywhere with that? He might be, because the white king is also weak. Let's not forget about this fianchetto bishop that is pointing at the white king.
Yeah, knight d5 only move, because if
Very
you take,
logical.
queen takes. The counterplay is too fast. And Magnus has managed to mix it.
Can he do something like knight takes a3?
I don't know.
Knight c7, going back to the defense, but f takes, no, okay, f takes, the queen will be exchanged, but anyway, he's grabbing some pawns with checks.
No, fg, just fg, and there
There's
doesn't
nothing.
seem to be any direct inroads, or hg, I'm not sure which one he's going to
He's
do.
taken
Carlsen
knight
goes
takes f7, which seems to be a better move after king takes f7, f takes g6, double check, so knight takes d5, e takes d5. Is Magnus Carlsen winning already?
I doubt he's winning, but he certainly complicated the issue greatly. Queen b5 or queen takes d5 look logical.
Is winning an exchange. He doesn't want the exchange. He played bishop c1.
Yeah, he has to cover b2 against potential threats. Why can't you take on f7 now? Queen
I
f7,
don't understand it.
fg,
Queen takes,
queen
f
d5
takes.
on the board. Yeah,
Oh, this is a piece down from Magnus Carlsen. But still, rook g5. Who has tricked who? Queen e4 was a check, and now after h takes g6, rook fg1, there are still threats.
he's lost now. Maxime managed to stabilize,
c6.
cover everything, and emerges a piece up. After knight f7, yeah, it looked like Carlsen was getting somewhere, but then, okay, the time is very, very limited. Something has gone wrong for him.
Yeah, this
Nice
is
tactic there by
just
MBL
rook
to wrap it
c1,
up, winning the
the queen. Maxime
It does
Vachier-Lagrave
emerge.
has beaten the world champion with the black pieces. Maxime, who was at the very bottom of the standings with 9 out of 21, now he moves a bit upper on the standings, 11 points out of 21, still not any good for, no, sorry, it's 11 out of 22, 50%, but a very nice game by Maxime Vachier, or a very bad game by Magnus Carlsen, we can call it that way too. What's going on in Nakamura-Giri? Perpetual? No, queen d2, queen c4, trying to avoid perpetual. Because white is a piece up, he doesn't want to get perpetual check.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Anish lost. It was a hopeless position. He had some checks, but Hikaru prevailed, working on his comeback in the Blitz portion, where Anish Giri, I don't know, he doesn't seem to play that much Blitz. Maybe he's not so focused on it. He's had some good results, but in Paris and here, he hasn't done all that well.
The Topalov Kremlin game is still going on without handshake, of course, at the beginning and at the end of the game, and it's a rook end game. I
Looks
give
like
it
Kramnik
to
followed
Julian.
our advice and decided to exchange off all the pieces and win another rook end game. Oh no, it's a draw. He didn't manage to win that one.
Draw, no handshake.
The pawn will cost the black rook, therefore the players agreed to a draw in the biggest grudge match we have in chess, Topalov against Kramnik.
And that was round 4. Let's see the results and the standings. So Vishianen drew against Vasily, so that's not surprising. Vasily has drawn all his games so far in the Blitz. Nakamura beat Anish Giri and Aronian beat Fabiano Caruana. Fabiano is not doing well at all in the Blitz portion of the event. And we also saw the draw between Topalov and Kramnik and the victory of Maxime Vachier-Lagrave against the world champion Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, Magnus's lead is shrinking to 1 point, Wesley, so keeps following him around. Not a pleasant loss for Magnus, and we know that Blitz is often a game of streaks, so sometimes one loss that you're unhappy about can lead to a downward spiral. Then again, Magnus is so mentally tough that I would not expect that to happen. He said he's already had enough bad days in this event, referring to day one. Therefore, he's gonna look to make a comeback in the very next round. Not the easiest of games though, black against Vladimir Kramnik. Vladimir Kramnik can manage to avoid exchanges. Can manage to avoid blunders, can exchange stuff. He is a formidable opponent. We're gonna see how that one goes. We're certainly gonna follow that game closely.
The next round begins in 15 minutes, so I think I will grab a microphone and interview our audience if they don't escape from me. Let's try that. Good afternoon. Can you tell us your name and if you also play chess?
I don't speak and I don't play.
You don't play, but you know how the pieces move in chess. You understand.
No, it's my husband.
Your husband. So you came with your husband and he's a chess fan.
Yes, he is.
Thank you. Hi girls. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, I will translate because they are Dutch players.
Oh, they are Dutch players. So you all play chess. The three of you play chess.
Yes.
Can you tell us your names and your age?
Uw naam en uw leeftijd.
Leen,
En hoe oud ben je?
9.
9 years.
9 years old. And you play chess? For how long have you been playing chess?
3-4 years.
You've been playing chess for 3-4 years already. Wow, that's great. And you must be a sister.
Yes, a twin
You are all
sister.
sisters, twin sisters. And I guess you started at the same age as well?
Ja, je bent op dezelfde leeftijd begonnen als Yes.
Did they learn to play chess in school?
I play chess, but not in school. But they are playing chess in school too. But also in the club. Also
Also in the club.
in Ghent.
What about you? What's your name, your age? When did you learn to play chess?
Ellen and 10 years.
Who is the best player here, girls? Who is your favorite?
The eldest.
You're the eldest. Who's your favorite player?
Wie is uw favoriete speler?
Magnus.
Do you already have a picture with him? Photo?
No. He's always fast in running away.
I hope that you will have luck and get a picture with Magnus Carlsen. Thank you. Sure. I will take a picture in the meantime.
Yes, please. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One like this, so. Yep.
A selfie.
Ja, of course. Ja. Kom erbij. Thank you.
It's alright. You should tweet it with hashtag Grand Chess Tour. If you have Twitter, you can tweet the pictures with hashtag Grand Chess Tour.
Yeah. Ah. Thank you very much.
It's alright. Hi. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, maybe.
Your name, age, and when did you learn to play chess?
Benoit and sorry, what is
What's your name?
Benoit? Yes, Benoit.
How old are you, and when did you learn to play chess? At what age?
I'm 33, and I learned maybe 8.
When you were 8. How do you like the games here? Do you also play Blitz?
I used to play Blitz at university, but not anymore. And well, so far so good. So it's also nice to see that even the best players in the world can make some mistakes. So I don't feel too bad if I make mistakes.
That's true. It all encourages us to play more chess because everybody makes mistakes, even the best ones, as you said. Who's your favorite player? Who do you root for?
I don't really have a favorite player. I like all the players more or less, but of course, I found Magnus Carlsen very impressive, especially in the candidate tournament of 2013, because all the players were very good and this tournament was very very exciting. In fact, but I can't say I have a very favorite player.
Thank you. You've come together. Are you friends?
Yes, we are colleagues.
Oh, colleagues. Are you from Leuven or you traveled here to see the event?
We are travel to see the event.
So where are you from?
Brussels.
Brussels. Is it the first day that you come or you've visited every day of the event?
No, this is my first day.
First day. And how do you like it here in the town hall?
I haven't got the time to visit, but this is the first game I watch. So let's see the next game.
Do you also like playing Blitz? Or which time control do you prefer?
Sorry?
Do you also play Blitz chess? Or what time control do you prefer in chess when you play? You play Blitz games, 5 minutes.
No, it's too difficult.
Too difficult, too quick?
Yes, it's too quick, and I think we do a lot of mistakes. I prefer maybe a 30 minutes game.
30-minute games. Do you like playing tournaments and playing with friends or online?
In fact, I haven't played for a while, but when I was young, I played in a club.
Thank you. And the last question is, of course, who is your favorite player here?
Here it's Anand.
And those who are not here?
Of course, Kasparov.
Kasparov, we hope to have him soon here in Leuven. I believe he's coming.
Okay, I hope so.
Thank you. Hi, can I ask you a few questions? No. All right. Hi guys, can I ask you a few questions? Yes. Your name, age, and when did you learn to play chess? That's the first starter question.
I learned chess at 18. My name is Seppa. And what were the other questions?
Yeah, actually you answered my questions already. You learned at the age of 18. That's surprising because usually everybody I ask, they learn to play chess in school. So you learned to play when you were 18 already. Why did you learn to play chess? Who was the one who taught you?
I taught myself with a book of Max Owe.
With the book of Max Owe, that's impressive. And why were you interested suddenly at the age of 18 in this game?
I started at a club at the age of 22. And yeah, that's about it.
How do you like it here? Do you like watching Blitz games, rapid games, or classical games? And do you like playing yourself with this rhythm?
Yeah, I like playing Blitz games, certainly. And I like the venue here, so it's very nice.
Are you from here or you've traveled here?
I'm from Mol in Belgium, so I came here by car.
And who do you think should win the tournament?
Magnus is probably gonna win. I was rooting for Caruana, but he's not that good a blitzer, so.
So your favorite is Caruana, but unfortunately he is better at classical games and not this short rhythm.
Yeah, whoever wins is okay, but.
Thank you for your answers and enjoy the event.